the Father, and the Son, and the Holy Ghost. Amen. And we live in frightening times. But to be totally honest, it's not very frightening because there's a virus going around, but really because of the way the world is reacting to the virus. We kind of spoke about it last week. I posed the question, if the world is crumbling to its knees for something like this, what will it do when Our Lady can no longer hold back the hand of her Son? And there's a true purgation when our Lord really sends His vengeance upon the earth. This is nothing, right? And the world is already at its knees. But sad to say, today, what's most frightening is not just like last week we spoke about the way the world has reacted, but the way the church has reacted. Right? And I don't speak about the faithful. I don't speak about you. I speak about me, about us, the clergy. It's when times are hard that the church should go into overdrive and should not crumble and fold. Right? I mean, you see these people having discussions, whether it be online or face-to-face, and it's funny to see people's different approaches to this. Some are very upset. My church is shut down. I can no longer go to Mass. I can't have the sacraments. I don't think this is right. There's something wrong here. And then other people are responding to what the government, for health and safety, has said that we should help so that other people don't get sick or die, so we shouldn't have Mass. We shouldn't have the sacraments for right now. And there's nothing wrong with that. Because, the church they're not saying don't go to church because we don't want you to believe in the faith. They're saying don't go to church because we don't want you to get anybody sick. But that's the whole point. Is that the scary thing is that the devil realizes, right, he doesn't have to persecute the church by saying don't practice your faith because you're Catholic. All he has to say is get someone to stand up in front of a podium and say don't practice your faith because you might get somebody sick. Right? The church is being persecuted right now. It might not be through statesmen, because they might have no intention to persecute the church. Totally legitimate thought. But it's certainly being persecuted by the devil. Because the devil understands that all it takes for me to do is simply have this virus and people shut down. The church is shut down because some might get sick. But that's not why the church is there. The church is not there to primarily care about your physical welfare. The church is there to care about your spiritual welfare. And churches have shut down before the governor's even said anything. Where's the resistance to that? Where are the clergymen standing up? And I'm not accusing other clergymen and not putting myself in it. I'm putting all of us, because the clergymen are all in it together. We are one body. Where's the resistance to saying, no, we're not shutting. Yes, the elderly people who are sick, maybe they won't come to Mass, but everybody else, you must certainly believe that we will have Mass, and we will have confessions. Because a Catholic cannot continue to be a good Catholic without sacraments. Impossible. To sit there and to say, well, we can practice our faith in our homes. For how long? For months? Right? It takes an extraordinary grace, which is given to countries that are in persecution, to be able to continue your Catholic faith, like the Japanese or the underground Chinese Catholics, right? Yes, they can continue their faith, and the Jesuits would go there, and 25 years later, some Catholics still have the faith without ever having the sacraments. But that's not where we are right now. How can the clergymen shut down our churches? How can they stop giving the faithful the sacraments which they have a right to? The church can't deny the faithful the sacraments. It can't do that, regardless of the situation. Plagues and wars and famines have happened, and the church has said, we'll put the Mass right in the middle of the battlefield if that's what it takes to save souls. If anything, we do greater processions. If anything, we do greater litanies. If anything, we have more Masses like the Polish bishops, right? Thank God, I think they're still saying. They're saying, we're going to have more Masses, not less Masses. Well, what happened to the church? Why is it caved in and folded so easily to nothing, to barely any resistance? No, the scary thing is that when the real persecution comes, what will we do? If we folded to simply a man in front of a podium with a tie on saying, saying, stay at home because you might get sick, then how are we going to react when they have guns and they're knocking on our doors saying, you better leave your faith or we'll kill you? I don't see how all of a sudden now we're going to stand up. When people are saying, oh, we're not being told to reject our faith. No, we're being asked to do a lot less. We're being asked to not practice our sacraments publicly for fear that someone might get hurt. But that is not, God does not say, oh, if people might get hurt, stop practicing your faith. No, that's not how it works. The faith is the foundation. And everything else doesn't matter if the faith is being compromised. And I'm not saying that the belief in the faith is being compromised. No, that's not what's happening. But the sacraments are. The sacraments are being denied to you. And that's a problem. That is a problem. And I hate to accuse my fellow clergymen, but that is a problem. We are failing our faithful. Because just from the fact that some people might get sick, but there's the crux of it. It's not because of that, is it really? The churches aren't afraid that some people might get sick. Yes, that might be in there somewhere. But what's at the root of it? It's this modern society, which is what? Nobody wants to be seen in a negative light. Because what happens, you get shamed. You get shamed for, you look at these school districts, they're all closed, right? And some of them stay open for a while, or states didn't throw lockdown. Well, why are people throwing lockdowns on cities and states? Why are people running to get toilet paper? Because everybody else is. You realize that you could, like we said last week, there are 15 other ways that you could fix the solution of not having toilet paper. But no, it's because everybody's getting toilet paper. I better get toilet paper. Every other state is shutting everything down. I better do it too, or else I might not get elected. I might be in trouble when it comes to people are going to start, the media's going to come after me, social media's going to come after me. That's why we cave in. Because someone might think negatively of us. Because we might feel a little bit of pressure from the world. That's really what it is. And the church doesn't want it. Pope Francis, I think, this past week, right? He had closed everything down, and then he said, wait. No, stay open. Keep the churches open. But for some reason in America, we just caved. It's because it's not really about sickness. It's about what the world thinks of us. And once again, here we go to the bottom, the crux of the modern Catholic life. What will the world think of us? It's all about the world. It's all about ourselves. It's beautiful gospel today and the introit today, right? Laetare. Rejoice. Rejoice, all you faithful who have been in sorrow, because your consolation is here. There is no more fitting in introit and no more fitting gospel for this Sunday, or in the times that we are in today. Rejoice, for your consolation is here. And you might think, what consolation? I mean, we can't go to church, we can't get the sacraments, right? The whole world has gone mad because of a very bad flu that people might die. Yes, but it's a flu nonetheless. The world has gone mad, right? The economy is being almost tanked purposefully. What is going on? What do you mean rejoice? For what consolation exactly? Well, look at the gospel, right? Our Lord comes, and what does he do? He's sitting there with all the people who follow him. He says, these people need food. And he says, what are we going to do about that? The apostles say, well, we can't do anything about it. We can't feed all these people. And so what does he do? He multiplies the loaves and the fishes, right? He multiplies them. And what do the people do? They all run after him to crown him king. And our Lord flees. Right? Why does he flee? Because you want to crown me king for the wrong reason. Your consolation, what you think is consolation, is the bread that I've given you. But that's not the consolation. The consolation is that I am here, I have seen that you needed help, and I have the power to give you that strength and help. That's the consolation. And our Lord is frightened because why? Because the people see him as the one who will give them loaves and give them fish. Instead of seeing him as the one who will always be there for them, and will always give them the strength and has the power to overcome anything, any obstacle for them. That's why we need to rejoice. Jerusalem, rejoice. Not because you're given things, and not because you are made safe. No, rejoice because you have a God who is on your side. And you have a God who can do all things. He is the master of every moment, including this madness. That's what we rejoice about. Right? It's time to be Catholics for the real reason. We should be rejoicing right now, because now we get to prove our steel. We get to prove what kind of Catholics are we really. Because if we're the Catholics who simply live for the loaves that we're going to receive, then we're not Catholics at all. We're no better than the man out there who is hoarding everything from other people because he needs to be serviced. No, we are Catholics because of these moments. This is what we yearn for. This is what we want. This is what we need to embrace. When God takes away other things and says, prove your worth to me, I will always be there for you. Rejoice, Jerusalem, because you get to show how much you care about your God. Rejoice. Not because you're given bread and fish. What kind of Catholics will we be? Are you the Catholics that will stand up every Sunday and say, I don't care what the state might say about me being able to receive the sacraments. I'm going to receive the sacraments. As long as I've got somewhere to go, I go. I don't care what virus I might get. I don't care. I go. Because that's what the Catholics did of old. They would walk through a battlefield if it meant getting the blessed sacrament within their body. They would walk through the battlefield if that meant going to confession to a priest. And the priests would walk through battlefields, would get leprosy, would have famine, would have plague. It doesn't matter. They would have death. Rather than let there be faithful out there stranded without the sacraments. Who cares what sickness I get? The priests of old would say. Who cares if I die? Who cares if I'm thrown upon a gibbet? Who cares if I'm thrown upon a pedestal of shame? Because my faith will not go. The church's men, women, and children will not go without the sacraments. Never. Not on our watch. These are the Catholics we need to be today. Catholics that embrace the challenge that God has given us. These are the times we want to live in. Because these are the times when we get to prove our worth to our God. Rejoice, Jerusalem, for hard times are here, and that's exactly why you're Catholic. Amen. In the name of the Father, and the Son, and the Holy Ghost. Amen.